So, today my topic of presentation is basically a case report titled as Managing Neglected Wound, a case report of an untreated dog bite injury in Pakistan. So, you will get know the title later in after knowing the presentation of the talk. So basically, dog bites are a significant public health concern in Pakistan, particularly due to presence of stray dogs in both rural as well as in urban areas. And why this is a significant public health concern? Because animal bite induce rabies virus into the human body, and this rabies virus directly affect the central nervous system, causing irreversible neurological damages. So that is why dog bites are a significant public health concern in Pakistan. The second major concern is that after the dog bite, there is a need of rabies virus. So rabies post-exposure prophylactic measures is basically an immediate measure that is usually required after an animal bite. And most commonly in the dog bite we have seen in Pakistan. So basically over 10 million people receive rabies post-exposure prophylaxis, and Pakistan is ranking 5th globally. So that is why this is the main topic of the concern we need to discuss. Okay. According to World Health Organization class of dog bites or rabies exposure, there are basically three categories of animal bite. If an animal simply lick or feed the human body, then this will be labeled as category 1 dog bite or an animal bite. If an animal cause abrasion or simply erosions over the human body through touching or through scratching, then it will be labeled as category 2 animal bite or a dog bite. And if the animal induced their nails or a teeth into the human body, then it will be labeled as category 3 animal bite. So, in all of these three categories, in category 1 animal bite, where the animal simply lick or touch the human body, there is no exposure of the skin, there is no blood loss, then there is no need of rabies virus in that scenario. If the animal scratch the human skin, cause abrasions or erosions over the human body, there will be or will not be the blood loss at that respective area. It will be labeled as category 2, and yes, there is a need of rabies vaccine against anti-rabies vaccine for that particular person. And if the animal introduce their teeth or their nails into the human body, and there will be a large amount of blood loss at that respective wound, then yes, there is a need of anti-rabies vaccine to protect the body from that rabies virus. So basically we have seen and we have discussed that yes, there is a need of anti-rabies vaccine for the rabies virus that is being introduced by the animal bite or a dog bite. But we all neglect the major concern that is very neglecting for the patient or for the patient health, that are the bacteria being introduced by the saliva of an animal to that respective area. So, rabies virus introduced into the human body and affect the central nervous system. An anti-rabies vaccine immediately given after the animal bite protect the body from that rabies virus. But the bacteria introduced through a saliva of an animal cause local or systemic wound infections, and that is the major neglected area in Pakistan, or because the wound care is overall all neglected area in Pakistan. So basically in my case presentation, there was a 53 years old woman lady presented to dermatology and plastic surgery unit with 14th day of the post-bite infection at her left lower leg. Immediately after the dog bite, she went to the nearby hospital. The nurses washed the wound and did local dressing and referred her to tertiary care hospital. At tertiary care hospital, she was given anti-rabies vaccine, and basically there are 3 doses of anti-rabies vaccine at day 0, at day 3, and at day 7. And after the 3 doses, she was advised to wash the wound and apply pyodine over the wound. So till 14 days, she has been administered 3 doses of anti-rabies vaccine, but no wound care was taken. So after 14 days, she presented to dermatology and plastic surgery unit with 2 wounds present on her left lower leg. So basically this was the initial presentation of the wound. अगर ये lights are off हो जाए, pictures clear हो जाएंगी. So basically, there were 2 wounds present on her left lower leg. The first one is present at the posterior side and the second one is present at the lateral side, because the dog typically insert their jaws into the leg, and there were two deep lacerations on her left lower leg, and both of them are covered with dead necrotic tissue, because till 14 days no wound care was taken. So, what comes into your mind? What will be the management to revive this neglected wound? As we all know that skin is a regenerative organ, and if we do not care the skin, we do not provide proper wound management, then skin cells start getting die, and this dead skin cells provide anaerobic environment to anaerobic bacteria to grow and cause wound infections. So basically, the immediate wound care is to wash the wound and remove those necrotic area to remove the anaerobic environment for the bacteria. So basically, in any wound care, the main major point is to moisturize the wound, repeatedly cleansing and moisturizing the wound. Skin is a regenerative organ, and skin cells only regenerate after getting moisture content from the external environment. All skin cells, epidermis, dermis, lower down muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones, either they are poorly vascularized or highly vascularized structures, they need proper moisture content to grow and to regenerate. And in this scenario, as it is a wound, and we will provide local moisture in the form of topical antibiotics, in the form of cream or emollient that is actually a topical antibiotic. So basically, the immediate wound management that was given to this respective patient is to regular cleansing and washing the wound and apply topical antibiotics. And we have to cover the broad spectrum area. So we have given those antibiotics that is respective against for both gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Secondly, it's a deep wound, laceration, a large amount of blood loss, so we have to given the oral antibiotics as well. Third one is for the management of the wound or proper management of the wound, we need to remove the inflammation from that respective area, and this inflammation will help the wound to heal or the skin cells to regenerate. So basically, 4 steps will be taken in this scenario. Number 1, oral antibiotics according to the patient current health condition for respective days. Number 2, topical antibiotics that are provide broad coverage against both gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Number 3 is anti-inflammatory to reduce the inflammation at that respective area. And number 4, counsel the patient and advise the patient for regular cleansing and washing the wound, and then apply topical antibiotics. So I am going to show the result right after 1 day. So basically, this picture is from the 14th day of the post-bite wound, and till 14 days, the patient did not take care of the wound. And after 1 day of the wound care, the patient was presented with this picture. So you can see that we can see the pink granulating wound base. Granulation tissue, there are 2 types of healthy tissues that helps in the wound healing. Number 1, granulation tissue that comes from the wound base, and number 2, epithelial tissue that comes from the wound edges. Granulation tissue fills up the wound base and epithelial tissue close the wound edges, and in dog bite wound, we do not stitch the wound because wound is fully covered with bacteria, and when we stitch the wound dehiscence occur and wound immediately gets break up and open. So in this scenario, we will provide the secondary healing. Wound will heal and close by itself to protect the wound from local wound infection. So right after 1 day of the wound care, we have seen there is healthy granulation tissue present in the base and epithelial tissue is present at the edges. So after day 4, the patient was presented at the day 4, which is actually a 17th day post-bite. So in day 4, wound has significantly reduced in the size, and we can see healthy pink granulation tissue is present at the wound base and epithelial tissue is present at the wound edges. And simply she has taken the basic wound measures. Antibiotics will automatically stop after 6 to 7 days. Anti-inflammatory will automatically be stopped after 3 to 4 days. And pain care, she will continue the painkillers. And the main thing that will help in the wound healing is topical antibiotics to provide moisture as well as antibiotic coverage. So after 10 days of the wound care, the patient was presented with this picture. Now you will be surprised that this pink tissue is literally covered with a yellow E-scar. So basically, whenever there is a wound healing and when we apply the topical antibiotics, the exudate coming from the wound and topical antibiotics we are applying stick to the wound. So that is why the key point of the wound care respective to the moisturization is to immediately cleansing and washing the wound, and whenever we apply topical antibiotics we have to cleanse or remove the previously applied antibiotic and then apply the newly fresh ointment and cream. So at this point, the patient was advised to regular cleansing and washing to remove those yellow slough and then apply the fresh antibiotic coverage. After 16 days of the wound care, the patient was presented with this yellowish is also a slough or a pseudo scar. You can say it is actually a debris or a waste material coming from the wound. And at this point, you can see the wound size has significantly reduced in size, and wound is actually closing in size. At day 23, wound is markedly closed and healthy granulation tissue covers the bone base. Epithelial tissue is trying to close the wound edges, and we are sure that this wound will close in the next few days. And after this, the patient was presented after 1 month of doing this topical wound care. So after 1 month, the wound was significantly closed. We can not see any wound infection at that respective area. So the another key point you should take is whenever the normal healing process of a wound is 21 days, and when the wound heals after 21 days, there is always a risk of hypertrophic scarring. So at this point, because this was a neglected wound, a delayed presentation, then we should keep in mind that there is always a risk of hypertrophic scarring because wound takes a lot of time. At this point, what is the management of hypertrophic scarring? Simply unilateral massaging to remove the contractures or extra skin cells forming over the skin. So at this point, the patient was advised to do unilateral massages and unilateral ointment dressings to remove those contractures. So patient was advised to again take the follow-up. So at day 75, we can see there is a little bit of the skin lift, and that show there is the hypertrophic scarring is formed, and we should counsel the patient to follow up the plastic surgery department for this hypertrophic scarring. So what is a discussion? We can discuss that anti-rabies vaccine is for the rabies virus, but wound is a wound, and wound always in need of the wound care, and this wound care should be in the form of regular cleansing and washing the wound and moisturize the wound. So the take-home message for us is that we should understand the proper wound care, and in case of dog bite, we should keep in mind the bacteria introduced through saliva of an animal. And yes, early and consistent wound care, even if we do it late, can result in successful healing and prevent further complications. So thank you so much. That was my part.